So this is the look that we have here. That's the look that we have. This is the most likely finishing look that we have, because there is no any other finishing that will come out now, save for this one. The windows have been framed, the doors and have been framed. Like I said, we are framing inside out to give a beautiful design, compared to that framing that is normally done by others where it's outside. Ours has been the very classic look, very classy and beautiful. And our frames, we did not even knock. I think you see we screwed in. Everything has been screwed in. We used chipboard screws. And then there is gaps where we felt it's important for us to use fiber seal, because in terms of waterproofing issues of the Nutec structure, you must make sure that it's thoroughly waterproofed. So this is a thorough finish that we have done here with fiber seal. Fiber seal seals permanently on all the joints, on gaps where they are. So for example, let me explain how it works. So when you do the framing of these strips, there's obviously gaps that are in between. These are very tiny gaps. So those are the ones where we fill the fiber seal. And then when you paint over the fiber seal, they are not going to be visible, these marks. So you mustn't worry about these marks at all, because once you paint over, when it dries, actually it's permanent and it's just sealed permanently. I think there is not even one client who would dispute to a fiber seal, something that helps to give a thorough waterproofing. I think everyone wants something like that, that makes sure that we have closed in everything that can be exposing in terms of weatherproof issues, weatherproofing issues. And these waterproofing issues are being answered by the fiber seal. And like I said, when they're going to paint now outside, when the painting is going to be done, we are obviously going to paint over this fiber seal. There is what is called preparation in painting, which will answer to the removal of those stains by sanding over the areas where those, once they have dried, are, so that you remove the possibility of them coming out when you paint. So this shouldn't be a problem. We have used fiber seal in all our projects, and we have not even had any objection, because no one would object at all to waterproofing issues. This is the finishing. That is the finishing in front of this house. Very beautiful finishing. We are doing the framings of the doors and the windows in a very classic look, the inside out. We are not doing like what others do where they frame from the outside. We decided to give this classic look because it's beautiful for a beautiful house like this one. Yeah, so this is what we have been doing. This wall section has been framed, right? This part will remain as it is. It's not going to be closed because there is a deck that is coming. So it's going to be pointless to close here. It's going to be pointless to close here because this work has not been finished. This work only makes sense when it's done completely with the decking and with the inside also. Once you do the inside, then everything will make sense. So this base is remaining like that because that's exactly where the deck is coming in to be anchored on. Otherwise, you close, then you're gonna have to remove again because you would need to anchor the deck on those beams, the 228s. Those are our profile for where we anchor the deck. And the front has been also done, as you can see. This is the part of the front which we call the foyer. We now have the window on top. So previous pictures there was no window. Now there is a window. That is how it looks, the window and the door on top there. And again, the fiber seal is serving the purpose of making sure that we seal on all areas where perhaps there can be joints. So this is the door and this is the window. And also here they've been doing that. These are the joints where the rhino bolts, because remember the hand planks, the end planks will obviously meet. You will not get a full length because our hand planks, they come in 3.6. So the 3.6 finishes or ends there, and then you have got offcuts where you have the offcast maybe of 600 to 1.2 on these patches that are going up where they're fiber sealed, and also on those ones, those are joints. That's where we are putting the fiber seals to make sure that we give enough waterproofing. So as you can see here, this is the effect of the fiber seal. It is sealed. I think if you look at this line, which is a gap in between the two boards, very minimal gap because we flush these boards. However, like I said, no matter how small or how minimal the gap is, we must always make sure that we answer to the waterproofing issues by fiber sealing. And there is no one who can object to this. We have never had any objection to this because it's actually to save for the best of the client's interests. Same here, we're going to seal as well. And then, like I said, when they paint, that's when these fiber seal marks are going to be hidden through painting when they do the preparation and when they do the actual painting. My understanding, according to the discussion that I've had with the client, this structure is going to be brownish in color, clay color, so that it has a very rustic look. And that color is actually good because it will be able to hide any of these marks without any problem. And we use fiber seal gray color because the gray is the one that is close in terms of resemblance to the Nutec boards. The Nutec boards, they are, by their nature, they are light gray, and the fiber seal is also gray in color. You don't get a light gray, but you get gray, which is not a problem because it's answering to the same color that we are using here. So we have finished the framing of all the windows and the doors in front of both of the houses. Like I said, this is the look. There is no any look that will come other than this. This is the look. This is the way we are framing the windows, and we are framing them inside out. That gives an additional uh, advantage in terms of the waterproofing because you are framing inside the window. You're creating a window frame in the inside. It's not from the outside where perhaps there can be a leak. So this is exactly what we are doing, and we have finished the framing of the front windows and doors. All the doors in the front have been installed. They are now there. There is no any door that is not there or any window. Everything is installed, right? And then at the back, we are still working in terms of the framing of the windows at the back. That is what people are doing right now at the back there. So let's see what is going on at the back. So part of the snags and areas that are left to be done is what we are doing here as work in progress. These are the kind of strips that we are using. We still need to do the corners on this whole section, yes. And the gutters and the downpipes, the gutters and the downpipes are in. This window framed as well, inside out. We are going to see with fiber seal on all these joints, where a screw again is going to be done to flush. We need to flush, then after flushing we'll obviously put the fiber seal. So yeah, all these gaps that we are talking about, we are going to flush with adding additional screws from the top, from the tip here. And then once we get screws in, the chipboard screws in, those small gaps will close with the fiber seal. The bottom part was closed. I don't think this part they will remove. It will remain like that. The roofing, we are going to work on those bubbles. That area where it's shining, in between this area where the ridges are not flashing nicely, they are not straight, they are forming a pattern. We are going to rework that, but this whole area is done and it's all right. These are the gaps that we are talking about, where we will do the fiber sealing and fiber sealing on all these areas. All the gaps that we are seeing, we are going to use fiber seal to close in a very neat way, so that when you are painting also, or when it's being painted, it doesn't leave ugly finishes. So all these gaps we are going to close. There's quite a lot of them because the Nutec are 3.6 and 3 meters. So obviously the length here is is more than 12 meters. That from here to there is 12, and here is about 4. Here is 16 meters. About 16 meters. Yes. Framing of the windows, the roof. Yeah, so that is exactly what we are doing. This window has been framed. The gutters and the downpipes are there. The gates that we need to close are these ones. Yeah. So we are left with about 3 windows to go. So then we know we start focusing on the corners. This window is the only one left now from that side of the back where the carpenter is. And then um, we have this one and that one. They are not yet completed. They are still work in progress. They've been done but not yet completed. Yeah. So corners will be done, and all the other framings. The framings are in, but they need to be finished. We're still going ahead to finish them. Yeah. So this is the update of today's work. Corners are in here. Let's see. Just one strip of the corner. We still need to do. I think the other one is the one that I see here. Yeah. So yes, that is exactly the finishing that we have here. We are going to work on the top to correct those ridges or the capings. We are going to remove and redo them nicely there. We know exactly wherever where it's a concern, we are aware of the areas, and we are making sure that we work on all those areas. We don't call them snakes as yet because it's still work in progress. The snakes becomes things that we identify with the client once we start to call once we tell the client that we have completed. Then they will tell us that, but we are not happy with this area. It happens and it's natural. Then we attend to those areas as snakes. But currently, it's not snakes. This is work in progress. We are still working here and completing these areas. Like I said, the bottom would have to remain like that because that's where the deck is coming. It's pointless to close with Nutec and then remove again. I don't think it would make sense. But the framing has been done very nice and beautiful. I really like the framing. It's very classy, and also with fiber seal in between in all areas where there is cracks. We are eliminating all those cracks here. So this is the foyer area, which I've also filmed the windows in, and also this area which we pointed yesterday has been corrected. Now the strip is going up. The joints have been attended to, and it's still work in progress on all those joints. Yeah, so this is exactly how it looks now. We still have a list of our areas which we shared with you. So we're ticking all those areas one by one to see that everything is done properly according to the way we noted them yesterday when we were looking at all the areas that needs to be attended to. As you can see, the corners are being done here. This is a corner that is in progress. This is the corner. That is our corners here. There is a corner here. The ladder is here. And part of the reason why the framings are taking long of the windows and the doors is because we don't knock. We are screwing them with chipboard screws. So it's taking more time because we want to give a very beautiful finishing. Yeah. So this is the final look of the house. It will look like this. There's no any other final look of the house that you can think of. Safe to say that this house will be painted, sprayed, and edged to look like old school uh, clay type of barn house with the clay color of brown. It's the soil color according to the pictures that were sent to me before we started coming from Pinterest by the client. That's how it's going to look. It's gonna look very beautiful because we have that vintage rustic look. Yeah, so that it won't be gray as it is. Yeah, this is not the final finish. There is always going to be painting, but it's not going to be painted by the normal painting. It's going to be sprayed, and that process is called edging. They are going to edge this house by spraying with old vintage and rustic look type of edging. which is the spray painting of the walls, and they will be brownish and clayish, more like this soil color, but darker. So it's going to be very beautiful. This is the foyer. That is what it will look like. There will be a deck right round, right, following the length of the house. Getting in here, there will be a bomber, which is a fire pit, and there will be a um, there will be a pergola, or in between there will be a pergola, yes. And then after the foyer, and then there will be a fire pit and a deck that will come, making a cave like this. Yeah, so that is what is still to be done outside. This will go up to the other side as well. It will go to the other side as well. Yeah, so this is the look. This is the final look that we are looking at here. Very beautiful look. Let's see the final when we announce that we have completed